Good morning. This is Athens Clarke County Mayor Kelly Girtz. It's Saturday, June 6th, 2020. And if you're anything like me at all, sometimes your late night wanderings are on this video channel looking for things to affirm what's in your heart. And so for me, if I want to cry, I'll look at President Obama's eulogy in the wake of the Charleston massacre. If I want to laugh, I'll look at Stephen Colbert's speech roast of George W. Bush at the Foreign Correspondents' Dinner. And one of his signature lines in that piece was about George W. Bush's ability to be resolute. So resolute that if he had one set of facts on Monday and a different set of facts on Wednesday, he ended up with the same opinion regardless. Well, this week I did have one set of facts on Monday and a different set of facts later on, and I have to be honest about that. It's very clear that Athens Clarke County's initial communication in the wake of last Sunday's demonstration and tear gassing and use of beanbag ammunitions was different, in my understanding, than the complete picture. And at least in one very significant way, the picture was not only incomplete but inaccurate, and that is that the majority of those still around at midnight last Sunday night were righteous and peaceful demonstrators. And we have the responsibility, whether it was just 1 out of 50 or 10 out of 50 who were dangerous individuals downtown, to make sure we're appropriately discriminating one set from the other. We're always looking to get better at what we do, and that's especially true in the wake of last week. It's clear a range of alternatives existed to use of those munitions and tear gas, and those should have been employed, because those things should never be used on peaceful individuals. And so I make a pledge that we will review our use of force policy and we'll do the right thing. I'll say that the heightened tensions around the country in the last couple of weeks, with violent actors infiltrating otherwise great civil actors, has put everybody on edge, and it's thrown us off our game. But we have to be a model city in Athens. Our on-the-ground communication and direct interaction, as well as our communication after events, has to be better to create a safer environment for everyone. So I look forward to improvements today and tomorrow and beyond, and we'll continue to work toward initiatives that will provide foundational improvements for the lives of all Athenians. I can't claim this government is perfect. It's made up of human beings, but we'll learn from our mistakes. Pertinent to the future of policing, Chief Cleveland Spruill will be back on Community Conversation this Wednesday the 10th to talk about the road ahead. We'll talk about the Police Advisory Board. We'll talk about community policing. We'll talk about behavioral health supports. We'll talk about training. And so if you have questions, submit those to accgov.com/mayor. As always, if you have questions for me individually, please continue to communicate by email, kelly.girtz@accgov.com. This job is interesting, as you might imagine. I get a lot of communication, and in this job, I sometimes will get communication that encourages me to throw people under the bus, and that's a model that we see in leadership from the national level on down, and as I hope you've seen, that's not one that I hew toward. And so that applies whether it's conversation about the police chief or conversation about commissioners X, Y, or Z. A big part of this job is being the bridge between the policy apparatus with the county commission and the administrative apparatus with county staff. What I like about this job is that we always get a chance to learn from one another. So whether it's me learning from staff or whether it's me learning from commissioners who might have comparable goals but different tactics, I get the benefit of all of that. And I think what we need to do is gain the benefit of one another's experience. Those people on the street, those people in professional roles, and we need to learn and grow from that. My wife often says that it's hard to hate one another up close. And you have a chance to get close to one another today at the demonstration on City Hall steps at College Avenue at 2 p.m. Hope you're safe out there. I'm going to link to an article that was in New York Magazine this week, and I think was also referenced in our local Flagpole magazine this week, because there's some things you need to do to stay safe, and I want you to do that. I've come into contact with somebody who's positive for COVID, so I won't be able to be there today. But what I want you to know is, whether it's today on College Avenue or whether it's on your front stoop, get out there and love one another.